Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am J.O.
It's your boy, Big Jeff.
Weezy in the building. Say what's up, Weezy.
What it do? What's going on?
Coach Lockback in the building. Say what's up, Cal.
What's up, fellas? What's up? Everybody all right?
Yes, sir. Another one. We're here, man. Weezy, peace signing.
Right.
Definitely focus. Coach.
He got his Lakers hoodie on for the night.
Yeah.
Gotta close out tonight.
Huh?
Gotta close out tonight, bro.
That one actually looks authentic right there, Weezy. Yeah, for sure. Episode 334, man. We are bringing the 2020 NFL Top 7 series to a close with the cornerbacks and safeties.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
Better damn know it.
Better than believe it.
Let's kick it off, man. Best of the week. Lock, what you got, buddy?
Man, my best of the week is I'm scrolling Twitter and I see a guy has won the lottery and he decides to accept his lottery winnings in a screen mask.
Mm-hmm.
He said he does this so his family can't identify him to bother him and beg him for money. So he collected $1.2 million worth of money. And his family doesn't know who he is.
Leroy, they know that's you.
But I can kind of see that. You know,
I can dig that. I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes family the worst.
Listen, he'll be broke by next week messing with his family trying to get all their money to people.
That's a fact. Fact. What you got, Weezy?
my best of the week, man, is the NFL was back this past Thursday, man. Look good. I'm proud of the NFL. All the COVID testing shit worked, and we got a real football game on Thursday.
Yeah, we did. More coming. Pause.
Yeah.
Jeff, what you got?
Like, you might be up on this one. Jeff Sims, former star commit to Florida State. He decommitted after they fired the great Willie Taggart. Now he's the starting quarterback for Georgia Tech. Know who he plays week 1 in college football? Florida State. I hope they bust Florida State ass.
Oh, come on now, Jeff. Hold on now. Wait just a damn minute now. We lose them now. We lose them. It's like we get them sometimes now. We can't say we hope we lose now.
I just want him to send a message. I hope he has a great game.
There you go. Say you hope he has a good game, but we still win.
I'm bitter right now, Locke. I'm bitter. You're right.
Yeah, you are.
I can see.
You're right.
And it shows. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. You're right. My best of the week, man, is Colin Kaepernick, man. After being kept off the game, John Madden the last 3 years, Cap is back. He's an overall 81. Puts him in the middle, top 15 as far as quarterbacks on the game, but I got to have him on the season. Shout out to the franchise. We'll start a new franchise this season. We got some content coming with that. Should be exciting, man. Only person not on this Zoom playing is Weezy. Weezy, are you purchasing a PlayStation to join the franchise?
I think I'm purchasing a PlayStation. That's in the budget. That's working on. It's working on the budget.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm in the league yet. But I'm purchasing a PlayStation. I think that's gonna get signed off this week for the budget.
Yeah, it is. It's something to talk about. Right? You damn right it is. Let me get about 1,000 so I can get my next gen network situation going.
You want okay?
Yeah. I know you got it. Worst of the week, Weezy. What you got?
My worst of the week, man, was my fantasy football draft. Man, I had my hopes set on one player. And I don't know if I spoke too much about it or he didn't fall to me. And I knew what he was going to do. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. I've been kind of high on him for the whole summer. I said he's going to fall to me. And he didn't. He didn't fall to me. And the one player I thought that was going to take him took him. So I know if he got past that one player, I was going to get him. But he didn't fall to me. Yeah,
for sure. We got some interviews coming with the FSP Fantasy Draft, man. So be on the lookout for that, man. It's intense league. I miss it. Yeah, Jeff is trying to get me to come back. Look at him. Look at him. Jeff, what you got? Worst of the week, man.
Come on back, brother. We need you. Worst of the week. So Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, and DAZN, also Canelo Alvarez are having a tiff right now. It's kind of fun to watch, but if you listen to the breakdown of this, somebody's lying, and it's going to come out sooner or later. Canelo seems to think he had control over who he was fighting and when he was fighting. DAZN seems to think they were promised a fight between him and Triple G, a third fight between him and Triple G, and Golden Boy Promotions is just caught in the middle saying they had nothing to do with anything. This is why boxing is always in the middle of something that's never positive, because promoters and promotions get in the way and belts and all these things. Let the fighters fight and do their thing. We're going to mess around and not have Canelo fight for what's going to be almost 2 years. We're going to be a year this month. We're going to mess around be another year because he's going to be contractually obligated. He's not going to fight, and he's in his prime right now. And that sucks, man. That's what boxing is where it's at right now because of stuff like that.
Sure. Hell yeah. Boxing always some slimy shit going on.
Always some tricky, trying to get over scam shit.
Sure. What you got, Coach?
Man, my worst of the week is Dak Prescott. His take by Skip Bayless, man. Dak Prescott, everybody know he lost his brother to suicide, and he came out and said that he was depressed, and he went into a depression, and he didn't want to talk to anybody. Let everybody know how it affected him. And Skip Bayless came out and said that he's not a good leader because he did all that. Skip Bayless, man. Now, I almost said something bad on here. I'm going to let it slide. But just know, Skip Bayless, you on that list for sure. Been on the list for a while, but you really on the list now.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, that's my worst of the week as well, man. Skip, man, he said it was a sign of weakness. And, you know, you contacted Dame Lillard and apologized saying that you were depressed during your tiff with him, and you were just acting out because you were depressed, and now you're calling Dak weak because he's going through the same thing you went through. Man, sucker. He's a sucker. Mm-hmm. Suckers always come to the top. Well, I tell you what, can't miss them. They always show up.
Can't win with them.
No, you can't coach them. No,
won't coach them.
Won't coach them. No. I want winners, dog. I just
winners.
Want. And boy, that boy Mike Singletary can't win a game. Boy, he can't win a game if he pays.
On no level. On no level.
He just got fired from a high school job, man.
Jesus Christ.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Oh, you got fired from a high school job, dog. He's terrible. Stat of the week. Shout out to Easy129 for this fine. Ooh, that rhyme. Whoa, I'm still going. Pause. A white cornerback hasn't started a game in the NFL since 2003. Stat of the week. Anybody can name that cornerback?
Jason Sehorn was a safety, what? Was Jason Sehorn, right?
He was corner. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Jason Sehorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Easy129, man, for that fine.
That's a good find right there. Shout out to Jason Sehorn, man. He was all right, too. Now, make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, IG, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and, of course, the SoundCloud page to catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. How do you do that? Just search Full Sport Press Podcast. When you get through with that, make sure you check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee every Wednesday. The latest issue is up, the Big Sean's Detroit 2 album review episode. Like that Big Sean album, not episode, but Big Sean album. Of course, Jay gets me hell about Stevie, man. Stevie says he didn't say the first time he saw Sean's piano. He didn't say that.
But he said the first time he saw a piano. Okay.
He didn't say that.
Weezy, you've been on the team. You've been equipped saying, yeah, Stevie can see, I believe.
Yeah, I'm convinced he can see.
Jeff, are you aboard the train now?
Nah, man, Stevie can't see, man.
Man, see what I'm saying? That's just the biggest speech, man. Everybody gonna say that. Blind or not, they gonna say that. He's not gonna get on there and say, man, I remember the first time I felt the piano. He's not gonna say that.
He didn't.
He should have.
He should have. To keep the lie going, he should have. He walked in the elevator. Shaq didn't say a word. He said, "What's up, Shaq? How you doing, man? Can you explain that one, Jeff?"
Nah.
How you see Shaq? He said a word.
Man, Shaq,
maybe he's just legally blind. Like he ain't.
That's what I told him, Jeff.
Well, no, hell no.
Baby girl
legally blind and still see shapes and objects and stuff.
Shakes.
Yeah, but that should have been out a long time ago.
You damn right. He trying to live his truth, and y'all preventing it, man. Y'all preventing it. A bastard. Hey, listen. As long as the story's coming, I'm gonna reveal them. Shit. Fresher Than Your Average podcast. Me and my dog Animal Brown is a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. We have a new FTYA Friday up. This is a new segment. You've got mail analyzing purchases over the last month. So pull up on us on the IG page directly for the culture. Where your kicks, man? Cop responsibly.
Ain't gonna be a lot of mail.
Ain't nobody copping. That's what I'm trying to say.
The mail gonna be slim.
Hey, boy, Chris gonna be doing that one by himself a long time. All I'm gonna be showing is Crocs, boy.
Hey, you need to get you an L just to hold up. Your mail L.
Whole time. Big boy L. That's all I got for him. Jeff, you got 10 good wrestling seconds.
Let's go.
Let's start the clock.
All right. So Bailey turned on Sasha Banks. Called that one, but it's fun to watch. And Roman Reigns is a full-blown heel. So two things we didn't think was going to happen in 2020, just like everything else we didn't think was going to happen in 2020, is happening in the wrestling world. It's a perfect setup. I don't see how the WWE can mess this up. They're probably going to mess this up, though. So they're cooking right now. Probably the most entertainment the shows have been, at least in the last 18 months. They're cooking for real right now. It's been fun to watch. Shout out to Neek. Shout out to the 808s and Chair Shots podcast. We covered all of this, and we got a little bit more coming for you. Make sure you tune in each and every Thursday. We drop at 8 a.m. Remember, you might not like wrestling, but your auntie love it. Don't forget that.
Most definitely, man. Now, tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
That the revolution will be podcasted. And before we get started, the first half, Weezy, do you have a yellow box of Cheerios award recipient for the listeners?
I do. This week's award recipient is Robstown High School.
Yep. I thought it was fake at first, fellas. Then I saw it was in Texas, and it all started to make sense. There's a new nickname for a school in the Robstown Independent School District. They are now the Cotton Pickers. Yep. The area around Robstown is one of the leading cotton producing regions in the entire United States. The community does not perceive a negative connotation connected with its nickname. At this time, Robstown's ISD will stay focused on student needs as a priority. Fact is, the history of cotton picking in the country usually conjures up just one of those things that make you feel a little bit bad. That happened with slavery, and that alone should be enough to pivot. But Robstown is going to keep on pushing as the Robstown Cotton Pickers. The school has been around for more than 50 years, and at no time did anyone think about changing the name, not once. Gene Upshaw actually graduated from Robstown High School. So shout out to the Cotton Pickers. The fuck?
I got to transfer if I'm going to school there as a black kid.
I'm going to no damn.
Is this a predominantly black school or white school?
I have no clue.
I'm transferring.
I'm not playing for the Cotton Pickers.
I'm not doing it.
2020.
Here come your Cotton Pickers. No.
No.
Mm-mm. That's all you going to hear over the intercom when we running on the field? Or coming in the gym?
Locking Cotton Pickers to victory. Nah.
No.
Fuck.
No.
Cotton Pickers are down by 9 points at half.
No.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
we've been down a
Undefeated
long
Cotton
time.
Pickers are coming in town this week. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
look
got
at
a victory
those.
from the Cotton Pickers. They finally
I
won
see
one.
what it is and tell you.
District champions, the Cotton Pickers? What?
I got to
Picture
see
that
what it is
Letterman
in
jacket,
Texas.
dude. This picture wearing that Letterman jacket.
Oh, my God.
Right.
There's a
And
big thing of cotton on the back.
dude, it's a cotton. It's a piece of cotton that was picked from the field.
Man, nah.
Here's a former cotton picker. He let us in. Yeah, we done with that.
Yeah, not for
The
sure.
great cotton picker from yesteryear.
All-time cotton picker.
All-time.
Yeah.
Oh,
He leads the cotton pickers in history in the assist. I bet he do.
hell, I bet, yeah. Sure. What the hell? Let's get out of here, man. But more than anything, we for sure get that out to them, man.
Please.
Yeah, that's gone. That's gone.
Please.
Sheesh. You guys ready to get started the first half?
Yeah, man.
That's disgusting.
The first half is underway.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am J Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy, what it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Locke, where can they find you on social media, my brother?
Man, you can find me on Twitter and IG at Locke_the_great. That's THA. Holla at me.
So, where you at, Weezy?
You can find me at How Weezy on Twitter, and I'm FSP Weezy on IG. Holla at me.
Yeah, you are. Jeff, what's up?
Jay Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
Right. That's right. And I'm J Hove on Instagram and Twitter. Let's have a conversation on Twitter. Let's continue to bash the Houston Rockets. It's been fun. It's been great. Let's kick things off with the first half, maybe some NBA news. The Milwaukee Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo, who lost in the second round, probably still win MVP. The 2019 NBA Defensive Player of the Year, leads the 2019-20 NBA All-Star Defensive First Team. They announced this week. Joining Antetokounmpo on the first team is Anthony Davis, Ben Simmons, Rudy Gobert, and Marcus Smart. The second team is led by Kawhi Leonard, followed by Pat Bev, Eric Bledsoe, Bam Adebayo, and Brook Lopez. It comes for 3 Milwaukee Bucks. On the first and second team, all defensive, and you lose in the second round. Any snubs on this list?
I don't know about snubs, but that second team sounds better than the first team.
Nah.
That's not
Pat
true.
Bell,
No.
Marcus Smart. That second team sounds better than the first team.
Marcus
Kawhi?
Smart on the first team.
Okay. But the Kawhi was on the second team, right?
Kawhi second.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Pat Bev is, hey, listen, let's just call a spade a spade. He might be hurt, though. But
Yeah.
Pat Bev isn't half of how good of a defender Marcus Smart really is. Not even close.
Okay.
He just,
I'm gonna argue
he
that.
just, it looks a lot because he's a lot of rah. But
Right.
yeah, I'm taking Marcus Smart for
Yep.
sure.
But to not
Yeah,
have
he's the
Drew Holiday, dog,
That's the one.
come on.
That's
He
So-
not on first or second.
Yeah, the thing is, who you gonna take off? Bledsoe?
Eric Bledsoe tomorrow. Get him
Today.
out
He
of here.
gotta go.
Pack him up.
Yeah.
Twice.
Pack 'em
Eric
up.
Bledsoe right
Yeah.
now.
And PJ Tucker deserves to be on this, bro.
He
Second
does.
team.
That's
But who-
definitely. I want
who-
to pick PJ Tucker.
Brook Lopez.
Okay.
Pack him up.
All right.
Him and Bam. Let's go. We in there.
They showing the Bucks.
Oh.
They showing the Bucks way too much love.
Because of
Yeah.
the regular season. It's a regular season awards. You got to understand that. And with the
Mhm.
regular season, the Bucks were the best defensive team in the NBA in the regular season. Until pre-bubble. And they said they weren't counting the bubble or anything in consideration. So
Yeah.
if it's doing pre-bubble, it was the Bucks. It makes sense.
If they give this MVP, y'all, to Giannis Antetokounmpo this year, I'm done with the MVP award. I'm done with it. I don't care anything about it. It's very similar to the what award I don't care about anymore. I think it's maybe NFL MVP because it's just a quarterback award. There haven't been anybody in another position that's won it in years. So yeah, nah, I don't care anything about that award if they give it to Giannis because bro, Jeff has been on record, and I joined the bandwagon last year. Hey y'all, that Giannis Antetokounmpo shit looking real funny in the playoffs. And what did he do?
Now, is some of this have to do with that ankle injury?
Oh no, coach.
Before
Oh
the
no,
ankle.
coach.
Before
He
the
was
ankle.
having trouble with Orlando, coach.
Then that he was.
He was having trouble with Orlando, coach. They
That he
just
was.
never really transitioned in the bubble. They weren't a good team. They were under 500 in the bubble.
Well, do you
I
give him slack because of the bubble? Do you give him slack
Nah.
because he played in something he never played in before the bubble?
Nah.
Under
Nobody ever
certain-
played in the bubble.
Nah, you can't
Nah.
do that. Because let me tell you who they wouldn't get no slack to. LeBron James. They don't give him no slack. Hell no. LeBron better show up. Hell no. They can't give him no slack. Nah. Hell no. I'm shooting him no bail. He's gonna be on that fraud list. It's growing. It's growing.
LeBron could be in a lose-lose with this season too. Because if he wins, they're gonna say, "Well, you only won because you didn't have to play your games on the road. It was in the bubble." You did, and then if you lose, you can't win.
He might be on to something, coach.
Now, that's his career, though, y'all. That's just
Yeah.
LeBron James' career. He's always in a lose-lose. Because if he
Always.
wins, it's always, you had the best team. If he loses, you're a bum. You're 3-6, 3-7. Nah, LeBron can't win. Nah, he can't win.
I know this is the freshest I ever seen him in the playoffs. He's playing like it's mid-season. He's playing.
And Savannah back now. She in the bubble now too.
Yeah.
Hey, that conjugal. He got some of that
Okay,
conjugal.
we're gonna move on. All right. So guys, Steve Nash got the keys to the Bentley this week, y'all. He was handed the head coaching job of the Brooklyn Nets. Seemingly out of nowhere, this is the team with championship aspirations. They're led by a top 5 point guard in Kyrie Irving, and arguably 1B to LeBron's 1A best player in the league in Kevin Durant. Nash received the cosign and praise from both KD and Kyrie, and he acknowledged himself that he, air quote, skipped the line during the process. So we think we're about to witness Steve Kerr 2.0?
Exactly what we're finna. Yeah. Especially if he can. Yeah, that's exactly what we're finna. That's exactly what we're finna witness. Exactly.
Well, I'm not against the Steve Nash hiring. I think he'll be fine. I just don't like the fact that some other coaches were overlooked, or you have your black coaches that get fired for less things. For example, David Fisdale, he got fired after 104 games with the Knicks when they were clearly rebuilding. You had Ty Lue, who got fired after winning the championship in Cleveland, and then the next year they get rid of him after that. Alvin Gentry, who gets fired because all his players are hurt with the Pelicans. Not saying Steve Nash is going to do a good job, but I think there's some other black coaches that deserve to have this opportunity that have put the work in a little more than he has before he gets that job. And he's going into a situation where he's in a good situation because he's going to coach Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving with a Brooklyn team that had way more overachieving than we thought they would without Kyrie and KD. So when you add them to the mix, he's going into a good situation.
This is more of a PG leader type of privilege more than anything. There's some black coaches. The black coaches that you mentioned, Coach, had chances after chances after chances, dude. Fizz had the Grizzlies. They underachieved. He went to the Knicks. They underachieved. Then you go with a person like Alvin Gentry. A little old, man. It happened to Paul Silas when LeBron got there. It happened the same thing to him with Zion. Just getting some new, fresh ideas. And I'm not mad at it. This is more of a PG leader type of privilege more than anything. It happened with Derek Fisher, sorry ass. Happened with Jason Kidd. It happened, at least it happened with Nash. He didn't retire and get right into the job. You understand? Like, those boys literally played the game the night before and was a head coach the next day. But did he skip the line? Hell yeah. But it's more of a relationship thing that he had with Sean Marks, who he played with, and more of him playing 18 years at a really high level and being a really great leader. And like, I would think like 4% white privilege on this for sure. More than anything, it's more than being a basketball player and a leader.
It's kind of like with this situation. It's like, how you apply for a job and you say you have any experience and you have no experience, and and you're not super qualified for the job. I mean, you got your degree and everything, but you got no experience for this position at this job, and you still get the job. It's like they gave him. It's like they took a test and gave him the answer to the test already. All right, here, go get this job. Take this. Here's the test. Here's the answers. Now just pass this and you get the job. That's what they did to him. Here's KD. Here's Kyrie. I gave you the job. Let's see what you can do with it.
On top of the job, he gets to walk into a championship caliber team. So he doesn't have to go through the struggles of, having your first coaching gig be with the Knicks or the Grizzlies. I mean, not this Grizzlies, because this Grizzlies team actually has a chance to be good, but talking about those other Grizzly teams that we know about. So he has a chance to be a championship contending coach year one. So, like I said, he get the keys to the Bentley. And Chauncey Billups is worried about AI getting in the Hall of Fame. This is what Chauncey Billups should have been worried about right here.
Yeah, that's still some smoke there. And here's the thing, man, with Nash, and then we can move on. Bro, like, he's going into an already dysfunctional team. Steve Nash is going to listen, this is not going to end well. This is not going to be well for him, and he's going to retire like Larry Bird did, I guarantee. Quick, get out of there. 2-3 years max. It's over with. Can you imagine trying to coach KD and Kyrie? I would not sign up for that job.
Gonna see how it is very soon. So let's go to the NFL. Jalen Ramsey, who's now a part of the Los Angeles Rams, broke the bank. He got a deal that is the highest for a cornerback ever. He got a 5-year, $105 million deal with a $71.2 million guarantee. Now, previous, the highest deal was held by Jeff's boy, Tre'Davious White, with 5 years, $82.5 million, $55 million guaranteed. Now, Ramsey was in his final year of his rookie contract, and he was due to make $13.7 million playing under the 5th-year option. But now he will be getting about $21 million a year. Now, the Rams gave up a first-round pick in the 2020 draft and the 2021 draft. Was this the right decision for the Rams to get rid of those draft picks and to pay Ramsey all this money?
Yeah, you got to say it is. It wasn't a person to draft at that has the potential. Jalen Ramsey, is it? I don't think so. Not unless it was a quarterback. They didn't need a quarterback on the defensive side. I don't think it was a corner or a safety that they could have got that was higher rated than Jalen Ramsey. It was going to be the next Jalen Ramsey. So yeah, I think the draft picks was fine, and I think it's money well spent too. I think it's money well spent because he's going to shut down half of the field. He's going to shut down he's going to take the best receiver. He's going to give him a hard time the whole day.
Once you dedicate those type of draft picks to one player, you gotta double down with the money. So once you decide to give up those 2 first rounders, the money was already spent because you can't let them go now. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't give up the draft picks and not sign them back. Like then you just completely out here. But that's a lot of money for a DB, but it is deserved. He is a Seminole, and that is DBU. So that's what we do. So good job.
If you look at the person that had the highest contract as far as, money guaranteed that he got, Darrelle Revis. So I think he's the closest thing to Darrelle Revis in his prime. Here's the thing with the Rams, though, y'all. The salary cap is smoked. Over the past 2 years, they gave 4 players record-breaking deals. Gurley, Donald, Goff, now Ramsey. Gurley's not even there anymore. So that's an average right around $77 million per season, and that's not even including Todd Gurley. And they still got to pay Cooper Kupp. Man, this is going to require the Rams to become experts in the draft because that division is going to be a very, very tumultuous division. I just worry that the Rams are probably in over their heads as far as contracts, but you got to pay all of those guys.
They had no choice. You had to pay Ramsey and Donald, right? You couldn't avoid that one.
Yeah, and then you got to pay your quarterback. So they were just in a tough situation, man. They were not lucky enough to have those guys to say, okay, we're going to get paid, but we're going to do it the right way where we can leave some money out there to surround us to help us win a championship. That's what they should have done. But, I mean, you can't knock nobody for getting their money, especially in NFL. We know you one hit away from being done, and they getting rid of you because at the end of the day, it's a business. So you can't knock them for going and getting all the money they can right up front.
Sure, man. Before we get started with halftime, let's talk about the bubble, man. Daniel House, man. He's being sent home, guys. Houston Rockets player has officially been kicked out of the NBA bubble in Orlando, Florida, after league officials say he broke COVID-19 protocol by having an unauthorized guest in his hotel room. House reportedly invited a female COVID tester to his room on September the 8th for several hours. Pound town. Despite the fact that she is not allowed to hang with players when she's off the clock, man. Players are only allowed to have authorized guests in their hotel room. People who have not been approved from the league cannot go into your room. The NBA actually investigated the allegations. While they didn't identify the unauthorized guests by name, the league clearly states House broke the rules. Here's the kicker, fellas. Here is the kicker. And I ain't know anything about this, so I researched it. Shout out to Sean White. Daniel House is married, man, with 3 kids, y'all.
Womp, 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 womp.
Wife then deleted all the pictures off the gram.
Yeah.
What was D House thinking, man? I'm going to let y'all handle this one.
No.
I'm out.
I can't believe he walked off. What's wrong with him?
All I'm gonna do is pray for him, man. You out here what's it? The horny police is on him. Like,
Listen,
he was horny. Like,
and the memes have been killing him. Oh my god!
you got
I,
a wife
I,
and kids,
I
bro?
yeah. I want to know what the lady looked like that he risked it all for.
He didn't risk it all. He
Nah, I'm back for that one. You know what she looked like, Coach. Nah, listen now. Listen now, Coach. Now, you know, ain't nobody risking it all. Daniel House, listen, Daniel House was a 11-point a game scorer for this team. They needed him, dog.
Needed him, man.
He is not in the bubble no more.
Dog, you know it. Listen, you got, bro, they blowing the spot up. This man got a wife and kids.
Man.
3 kids.
Tripping.
This man got a beautiful family, man.
Tripping. It's over with now.
Who snitched on him?
Well,
Who snitched on him? Who called him?
What you talking about? Yeah, what's
Nah, it's over with.
we don't know if it's over with. We don't know.
Ain't looking good.
So, like, if it ain't over with, it ain't what it was.
For
Nothing was
sure.
That might be.
She done took everything off the social media. All the family pictures
that's it.
gone.
When the pictures get deleted,
She's upset. She's upset.
Get
For good reason. She's just upset.
Bro, that's a lot, though.
when she go through and delete the pictures, trust me, it's over with.
Never as bad as it seems, fellas. It's never as bad as it seems.
La 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 la.
That's the song. He didn't be playing it the whole time.
Oh la.
La, la.
Yeah, come on, D House. If we can hand out 2 yellow boxes, man.
We got to prime them one, Weezy.
Hey, man, come on, dog.
Give his own box back, that's.
Bro, your team down 3-1.
And you out here tripping,
right?
And you going to Pound Town, man. Come on.
Hey, what song he got to say to get it back? What song he got to say?
Nah, he got to give it an Amex. They don't song.
What R&B song? What R&B song he got to say to get it back? Is it Cisco Incomplete?
It ain't funny, man. For real. That ain't funny, y'all.
I think it might be Cisco Incomplete.
You gotta give it an Amex.
Oh, man.
And I don't think the Amex is gonna work. He don't make enough money.
Yeah, he in trouble.
Yeah.
Nah, she married.
Without you, girl. He got to say it's Cisco Incomplete. I think it's what
she gonna go right back with la 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 la. La.
He gotta get
he gotta hear the way.
Inspiration.
You can have it all.
Man, nah, hell nah. You guys ready to get started with
Yes, please.
You can have it all. He got to give it all to her.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime, in case you missed it, former New York Jets wide receiver Joshua Bellamy was arrested in Florida and charged with allegations of participating in a scheme to file fraudulent loan applications seeking more than $24 million in the forgivable Paycheck Protection Program. That's for fraudulent people that are trying to scam COVID-19 relief. Now, he wanted $1.29 million for a loan for his business. Bellamy was charged with wire fraud and bank fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud and bank fraud in a federal criminal complaint filed to the Southern District of Florida. When you get the Southern Districts and shit, you're in trouble, dog. Ooh, shit. Now, Bellamy is accused of working with 10 named co-conspirators to submit at least 90 fraudulent loans, Weezy, in exchange for kickbacks. Now, Bellamy is accused of fraudulent obtaining 1.25 PPP loans for his reportedly inactive company, Drip Entertainment, Jeff, and spending more than $104,000 on jewelry and luxury goods, totaling to $62,000 at a Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Boy, blew a bag in the casino. Now, Bellamy was released from the Jets on Tuesday. He signed a 2-year deal in 2019 and played in 7 games before injuring his shoulder. What's up, man? Are y'all gonna learn, man, playing with these PPP loans?
Man.
Y'all out here playing.
Thinking it's sweet.
I sent this to somebody I know that's out here playing with their loan. Like,
the only PPP I got is right here. There's only PPP I got.
That's PPE, brother.
PPE, whatever. That's all I got. I don't do the loans and all that shit, man. No. No, sir.
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Boy, you're in the blessing business. The IRS is putting together a task squad just for this shit. And they are coming for y'all ass that was out here getting these fake loans. And it ain't, now if you get a little thousand, I think they're gonna let you slide. But if you did it 2, 3, 4 times and putting people names and stuff, dog,
You in
you
trouble.
are in trouble. Granted, at least 51 companies did this. Some really big companies, from Forbes all the way to brand Yeezy, to governors, to automobile, restaurants, whatever the case may be. They have reason as to why. Drip Entertainment had been inactive for years. What in the hell? What you gonna need it for in Drip Entertainment?
He had drip for sale.
Yeah.
Gotta get out. That was it, coach. That was it. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
let's go. Yeah, you guys ready to get started second half? Let's go.
The second half is underway.
Second half, the 2020 NFL Top 7 Series, Part 4, man. Bringing it to a close, the cornerbacks and safeties. Before we get started, I am J Hope.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
Boy, Weezy, what it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
For the final time in 2020, FSP and our listeners came together to make a list of who we perceive to be the top 7 cornerbacks and safeties heading into the 2020 NFL season. We appreciate everybody that submitted a list over all parts. We couldn't have done it without you. Some of these lists were absolutely trash. Some of them were absolutely great. Either way, in the middle, we came up with a list for all part 4s. This list is strictly related to their 2019 stats and performance, and who has the best chance of maintaining their great play heading into this season. Without further ado, let's get to the cornerbacks. Now, cornerback may be the most difficult position to play in today's NFL outside of quarterback. Not only is the talent pool at wide receiver deeper than it's ever been, the rules of the modern game are in their favor, making a corner's job even harder. Now, Weezy, who is last year's cornerback 7 through 1?
Last year's cornerbacks was number 7. He had a hard time. He's just having a hard time right now. Xavier Howard. Number 6 is Marshawn Lattimore. Number 5 is Kyle Fuller. Number 4 is he loves going home every night. From what I've seen on Hard Knocks, is Chris Harris. And number 3, Pat Pete, original. Number 7 from LSU, Lockdown. Number 2, he finna buy this big ass house I've seen on. Number 2 finna buy this big ass house I've seen on Hard Knocks too, Jalen Ramsey. And number 1, he got dreads. He's quiet, but he wear a nose ring. Stephon Gilmore.
And that is the list from last year. A lot of these people didn't make it this year, man. Speaking of one that did not make it, Marshawn Lattimore, Jeff's guy. Hey, man. Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I think he has a hard time because he's in a terrible division with wide receivers. He has to show up every night, cut down his yards after catch this year. Just didn't make the list, man. Jeff, how you feel about that, man? It's your guy.
I think he should make the list just off of pure, like, who he lines up against every week and puts up numbers, doesn't give up big numbers. You know what I mean? He's got a few touchdowns this last year, but he doesn't give up a lot of numbers. Kid's a solid quarterback. It's my guy.
Anybody else got anything to say about Marshawn Lattimore? They good?
Yeah, Jeff said it all, man. I ain't seen no sense of going back on that. I agree. He lined up against them 2 wide receivers twice a year.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Next on the list that did not make an honorable mention, Casey Hayward, man, Vanderbilt Commodores, 31 years old. Weezy, how you feel about one of the most underappreciated corners in the NFL not making this list?
I think it's just because he went to Vanderbilt, man. I really do. And Casey Hayward, he's 31 years old. When did I tell you from somebody the 31 years old to last this long from Vanderbilt in the league? Besides my quarterback who don't play no more. Like, yeah. When the last time y'all looked? Casey Hayward can play.
I think he gets overlooked because they play zone so much. But he's elite, man. I think he's an elite corner, man. I agree with you. I don't think it got nothing to do with Vandy. I think it's more of the zone.
And he switches teams. He gets traded a lot. He switches teams a lot. So
not really.
2 teams.
That ain't a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And last but not least, his teammate now, Chris Harris, who's also 31 years old. Number 4 on our list last year. Coach, you got anything to say about Chris Harris not making this list?
I think Chris Harris is just a casualty of war for some of these guys having better years. He still can play. He's getting a little old, but he can still play. It's just these guys in front of him, man. They just have better years, and that's why he missed this list.
If we were doing a top 7 of the decade, Chris Harris would be on that top 7 list. No question. He transitioned from being a full-time corner on the slot. Then he went to outside. Now he's back home at slot. He's going to be great for the Chargers this year. I think I just figured out another show, fellas. We got another show to do. And last but not least, Marcus Peters. Hey, listen. He is cold, y'all. Marcus Peters is cold. Let me tell you what his problem is. Too risky. Takes too many risks. Always gambles so much. And that's the reason why he's not on it. But he was all pro.
Yeah,
he was all pro.
Made my list.
He made mine too.
Yeah. He tied the league for picks with 13 over the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Make plays. But this is what I'm saying. When I say he gambles, this boy Kevin gamble. You understand what I'm saying? Like
he's rolling the dice.
Boy, sometimes it works, and then sometimes you get smoked for 75 yards, for sure.
And he's nuts, too.
And he's absolutely insane. Let's start with the list, man. Number 7, we have AB's guy, Jair Alexander, 23 years old. Wasn't ranked last year. How you guys feel about Jair coming in at number 7?
I think Jair's only reason he's number 7 is because people didn't know who he was before that, man. Jair can play. He can play. But he plays on Green Bay where, they're not known for their defense. And I'm telling you, when you play for Green Bay and you're not Clay Matthews, you don't get no recognition on defense. You just don't. Unless you just have a crazy year. Like that one year, the Martinez dude for the linebacker. He led the league in tackles and people didn't know who he was. He led the league in tackles.
That's an Aaron Rodgers shadow. He cast a huge shadow. So I agree with that. This guy, he's solid. He's okay. He didn't make my list at all. But that's neither here nor there. But I can understand why he made number 7. If he'd made anything higher than 7, I would have been upset.
Jair Alexander, man, he's young. He will only get better. He made my list. He's a great athlete that he can change directions and getting out of his back pedal. He only gave up 7.6 yards per target, 53% completion, and 17 pass deflections. He's only going to get better, and he's going to start to get a little more recognition like we talked about. He's going to start to come out of that Green Bay offensive shadow. He will be mentioned as one of the best DBs here in the future.
Through a couple of weeks in 2019, start of the season, Jair Alexander I was talking to AB, I was like, he's the best corner in football. That's how great he was playing for a stretch there. And then Dallas happened, gave up damn near 200 to Amari, got beat for another 100 yards the next week. He has elite talent. Like, he's an elite corner. On Madden, he is a shutdown corner. He's listed as a shutdown corner. Nobody that we mentioned as honorable mention was listed as a shutdown corner, man. So it is a reason as to why this kid is touted the way he is. He has the talent. He's got to eliminate those bad days, man, for sure. The good days got to outweigh the bad.
How many bad days are you allowed as a shutdown corner? Out of 16 games,
3.
You say 3. You say, he got 3 bad games. So if you have 4 bad games, you had a bad year.
But 200 is worse than a bad game, though.
Yeah.
That 200 is like a wide receiver is like holy grail. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be on the other side of 200.
Now, granted, all the 200 wasn't on him, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, nah, for sure. 200 is 200. It's gonna look like your ex wide receiver had 200, your ex corner was there. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of the blame for sure. Move on to number 6, man. We got Patrick Peterson, 30 years old. Last year, he was number 3 on our list. How you guys feel about Pat Pete at 6?
Man, I love Pat Pete at 6. Pat Pete's been on this list ever since we've been doing the list, right? Every year. Yeah. And 30 years old, I think he's still got another maybe 2 years of prime left in him. I think so, and I think he's rejuvenated. I think he's rejuvenated playing with this new team, new system. He got a new wide receiver to help him out on offense where he got to shut down everybody. They can finally score some points now. I think Pat Pete will be high on the list next year. Honestly, he missed 6 games last year. He'd be high on this list next year.
I'm gonna side with Weezy on that. Like he hasn't showed, other than the injuries, he hasn't showed any signs of slowing down. And he's consistent. You don't want to throw it to his side. Like you game plan not to get him involved, and that defense is going to get better this year. I'm agreeing with Weezy on that.
I tell you, man, he's seen these boys getting running back money at corner. They wasn't doing that when he got in the league. That's if that don't motivate him, he need to retire.
Yeah, him not playing all 16 games hurt him on my list. That's why I didn't have him on this list. He definitely can still play. He had 2 interceptions in those 10 games. He's gonna be good. It's just a matter of if the offense can keep him off the field, like Weezy mentioned, to prolong his career, which I think they will because they got a few more weapons.
2019 was the worst year statistic-wise for Pat Pete. You got to think at the same time, they were always on the field with that team. So if he can figure out a way, he has Budda Baker out there with him. Now he has Isaiah Simmons in that secondary. The defense looks a lot better. I always live by the code that Pat Pete is always a top 5 corner. And corners are getting better as they're getting older now because the defenses are schemed for older corners to eat because they are smarter. So in turn, you'll see a lot of these players sticking on this list. I don't have him going higher on this list, but I do have him still on the list in 2020. Let's move on to number 5. Hey, boy.
Come on, man. Man.
Boy, man. Number 5 is Joe Hayden, man. 31 years old. Wasn't ranked last year. How you guys feel about old Joe, man? Hey, employee number 5, man. My guy.
Oh, my thing with Joe Hayden is he's like Pat Pete. He gets better. He gets better with time, man. Like Ryan. He's just, he's 31 years old. Might be the oldest on this list. And he's on the list at 5. New team, still making, like, he still does work on the field, man. Still shut down. He still follows everywhere. He still plays number 1 corner, follows, play the slot, whatever you want to do. And he's physical, and like he gave life to that Pittsburgh defense last year. I mean, Micah Fitzpatrick gave life to him.
Keep it short. He owed Micah Fitzpatrick for this position.
Ooh, I like it. A little spicy. Good thing Jay's on mute.
Micah Fitzpatrick did help him out, but he's still on this corner doing what he does. You only giving up 5.9 yards per target. That's crazy as a corner with 17 pass deflections and 5 interceptions. He's still locked down over there. They have a good defense now. They got a go-to corner. They safety in Minka, and then you still got TJ Watt. So I think he's going to be on this list next year because he's going to continue to do the same thing.
Here's the thing. Minka Fitzpatrick had 0 picks in Miami. He gets to playing with a corner and a defense that's getting to the ball, and you can't throw to Joe Hayden side because he's going to pick it. So in turn, Minka Fitzpatrick ate off him. The hell? How do you have your best year playing and you didn't have no corner like this, dog? Crazy as hell. No one expected Joe Hayden had a year that he did. He regained his status as a top 5 corner in this league. He is a beast. Only penalized 6 times the entire season. Come on, man. He only had 3 PIs in 16 games. You asking for trouble, you targeting my dog 5. Let's go get it. Now he has Minka. Now they have an entire defense put around. Hey, man, I can see him do. Locke talked about him not being a Pro Bowl. He was a replacement. We don't talk about replacement. We talk about Pro Bowls. Pro Bowl at 31. Hell. Speaking of Pro Bowl, let's move on to number 4. Richard Sherman, 32 years old, was not ranked last year. Let's talk about Sherman, man, at 4.
Sherman, I remember one time when Sherman, somebody on this call said, Sherman sucks. He only can play one side of the field. He don't do this. but now he plays for a team that is somebody on this Zoom call cheers for, and now he made the list. At 32 years old, and now he's now he's one of the best corners in the league, which he did.
Always was.
Oh,
Always
so
was one of the best
you
corners.
got to give props what props due. Shout out to Richard Sherman.
Nah, you're right, Weezy. I remember that. I remember all that. Yeah. Richard Sherman always been one of the best corners in the league. I always got that stupid flag for only being on one side of the field, whatever.
For doing what he was coached to do too, Jeff. Remember that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got flack for that, but whatever. But shout out to him. Take away the Super Bowl, man. He had one of the best years you're gonna see. He had a bad Super Bowl. Can't lie about that. But other than that Super Bowl, he had a great year. So he definitely deserves to be on this list. One of the all-time greats.
Yeah, Richard Sherman showed me a little more than what I thought he was. I always thought he was good, great corner in Seattle. It fit them well. But I would like to see what Richard Sherman can do without a safety over the top. He always has a great safety over the top. If you think about it, when he was in Seattle, he always had Earl. And now we got our safeties in San Francisco. Not taking nothing away from him. He still had 3 interceptions and 11 pass deflections. And you don't want to test him over there. He's a player, but he has always had a great safety over the top also.
This is the thing, Coach. We ain't got no safeties. Coach. We ain't got no goddamn safeties. We ain't got no,
like them boys in Seattle, but they ain't that bad.
Nah, they pretty bad. Richard Sherman had a great year. But let's just be real. Richard Sherman's never played with a front line like the San Francisco 49ers. Young boys getting to that ball like how them boys get to that ball. He ain't never had time to sit back there and think like, man, wow, they're going to have to actually throw this ball to me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm about to pick this shit. Dude, a torn Achilles is usually a rite of passage to get a person out of the league. And he only allowed 373 yards and 1 touchdown all season. Now, that has a lot to do with the pressure that's coming from that D-line. But this kid is special, man. And I think he's one of the top zone corners in NFL history. And you put him with a team that's blitzing like how we are, it's only going to be better, man. Shout out to Sherman, man. He put up a really good fight. But he did profit off of playing for that good-ass defensive line, for sure. Let's move right along to number 3. The talented Jalen Ramsey, 25 years old. Was number 2 on our list last year.
That's a Seminole.
How you guys feel about Jalen Ramsey?
Hometown hero, man. Jalen Ramsey is one of these guys where if you could create a player, you probably a cornerback, you're probably gonna create Jalen Ramsey. Fast, tall, rangy, mean, not afraid. And he bags everything up on the field. He bags everything. He can tackle. He doesn't pick the ball off a lot, but I don't think that's his game. I think he'll much rather get physical and knock the ball down and talk shit to you than pick the ball off. I really do. But Jalen Ramsey is a good player, man. Great player.
He gets to have a full season with the Rams. He got his bag. Now he gets to go out there and justify getting that bag. Can't wait to see it. And he's a Seminole. DBU.
Yeah, man, he'll bounce back and be one of the top corners in the league, which he already is. Clearly, he's on this list at 3. But I could see him moving up on this list after this year. He's comfortable in L.A. now. I mean, 5 pass deflections, 1 interception, like Weezy mentioned. He's not going to do a lot of that. But he's going to lock your best wide receiver up.
Here's the thing. He's supposed to be high on this list and probably will be again in 2021. And the problem doesn't have anything to do with talent. This kid is special, man. He draws your number 1 every night. And he didn't give up a single touchdown, y'all, in coverage. So he's not going to pick a lot of balls off. He's always been accustomed to dropping the ball, even going back to Florida State. Hell, BA, he was dropping the picks. But to play at a level that he's played, if you are getting a corner and these 3 guys coming up, there's no question Jalen Ramsey would be my pick to get as a cornerback for sure. Ain't no question. He's a dog. Number 2, we have Tre'Davious White, 25 years old, man. Wasn't ranked last year. How you guys feel about Tre'Davious White, Jeff? I'll let you kick this one off.
I'll say this about Tre'Davious. He got his bag. He approaching the prime of his career. Throw to his side of the field if you want to. Going the other way. He's going to pick it. He's going to deflect it. He's going to make a play. I know he plays in Buffalo, so you may not be – some people aren't really aware of what he does, but Tre'Davious White is must-see TV every Sunday.
My thing with Tre'Davious White, if everything Jeff said, he's a good player. But to go back what Jay said about Sherman, about the defensive line at Buffalo wasn't no slouch, man. So I don't know if that had a lot to do with why he's number 2 on this list this year. But that defense line at Buffalo helped out a lot.
We played Tennessee this year. You'll see it firsthand.
We played out last year.
And you saw it firsthand then.
That defensive line sure did.
Man, Tre'Davious White, he's gonna be locked down over there, and he's playing opposite of Josh Norman now, so he's not gonna see a lot of passes his way. People are gonna try Josh Norman before they try him now. He was second in the league, I believe, with 6 interceptions, tied with the next guy on this list we'll talk about. Had 17 pass deflections, the first team All-Pro. And he had 58 tackles and 2 forced fumbles. He's just a player, man, and he's not going to see too many balls thrown his way this year because of what he did.
Let's keep it real, man. Buffalo had top 5 defense last year. And it got something to do with their front line, got something to do with those linebackers. And they got 2 good safeties. And Tre'Davious White is accustomed to making plays. He is a playmaker. He's been doing that since LSU. Since LSU. It's a bunch of SEC guys on this list, too. We ain't going to talk about that. But with Tre'Davious White, man, he's just a spectacular corner. He didn't give up a touchdown all season, y'all. And people throwing his way. And you know what he was doing? He's picking that thing and he dancing with it. We to the house with that. Ain't no question. But he is accustomed to playing with a really good defense. This Buffalo defense is underrated. And I think he benefits off of that. Very similar to a lot of people on this list. But Tre'Davious White is a player. And can't take nothing away from him. He's a killer. True killer at the cornerback position. Speaking of a killer, number 1 on this list, man, 2 years in a row, man. Stephon Gilmore, 30 years old. Let's talk about him, man.
Now he's not a product of his defensive line. That's what he's not. He's a true corner, and he got that Kawhi Leonard in him. He's like he's not a rah guy, real quiet. He'll make a pick, then go sit down like he's tired or something. But lockdown, and I'm telling you, this is how I know he's lockdown. When the last time y'all know somebody to get paid in New England, young like this? He don't do it. Belichick don't do it. He paid the man.
You right.
That speaks for itself.
I wish he wouldn't have paid him and he could get the hell out of our division. I'm just being honest. Like, nah, man, this dude is he's number 1 2 years in a row for a reason. I really wish he would go to another team. I don't know why the Patriots want to pay him. Do like y'all always do, let people go. You let Tom Brady go. You can let Stephon Gilmore go. I don't want to deal with this dude every year. But you signed him. So yeah.
Yeah, man, he's just locked down over there, man. 6 interceptions, even had 2 touchdowns on those interceptions. Only 50% completion against him, 20 pass deflections. He's just going to lock down your receive over there. Defensive player of the year as corner, that's nuts.
This is undisputed, man. And best corner in the sport. It's not even close. He dominates zone like Sherman, and he shuts down bump and run. His tag is bump and run Gilmore. So he's gonna do that just like Reeves did. So he's as close to a complete corner we've seen in the league in a long ass time. And he's just developed under Belichick. He's the gold standard at the position, man. He's the gold standard. You don't see corners getting defensive player of the year. It just don't happen unless you Deion Sanders, unless you Darrell Reeves, and then you Stephon Gilmore, dog. Respect that kid, man. He's a player. Let's go through this list, man. Bump and run Gilmore, number 1. Number 2, Tre'Davious White. Number 3, Jalen Ramsey. Number 4, Richard Sherman. Number 5, Joe Hayden. Number 6, Pat Pete. And number 7, Jair Alexander. Anybody making this list next year? Give me a prediction.
I'm going to go with my boy, Dory Jackson, Tennessee. He got to. It's time for a big year out of him.
I respect that. Marshawn Lattimore back on the list where he belongs.
Look out for my boy, shout out to Madden, Desmond King.
Ooh, I like Desmond King, coach.
Hey, this is the year. C.J. Henderson, Jacksonville. Let's go. As a rookie. Lockdown.
That ain't bad. That ain't
Lockdown.
bad. That ain't bad.
Lockdown.
Why does the Florida guys always go to Jacksonville first? You know, if you play in the state of Florida, you go like Jalen Ramsey, Florida State, Florida. You know,
they got first person view.
Yeah, so it's
that's crazy.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I'm telling you, Jeff Okuda's gonna be good too. It's a lot of good corners in the league, man. A lot of good corners. We're gonna see that. Let's move on to the safeties, man. Safeties are taking on a more important and diverse role in today's NFL. The league is trending more towards light personnel packages, more 3 safety packages, and more hybrid defenders. And it's a lot of those guys on this list. Weezy, go through the list 7 through 1 from last year.
Last year's safeties. Number 7, Adrian Amos. Number 6, he might be on Dr. Phil right now, Earl Thomas. Number 5, Harrison Smith. Just a low-key killer. Number 4, this is Jeff homeboy. He trying to get to Dallas though bad. Jamal Adams. Number 3, where's he at? Eddie Jackson. Y'all see him? Eddie Jackson. Number 2, Coach Locke's boy just can't, he maybe these HGH him or something. Daryl and James. And number 1, this is Jay boy. He said he's gonna buy a jersey. KB, MTSU, underdog.
It's a fact, man. It's a good list, man. Let's start off with some honorable mention. First person we got is Devin McCourty. This is Jeff. Listen, you fought for Devin McCourty. Fight for him now, man.
Devin McCourty is consummate professional. Lions down every Sunday. Smart on the field. Never out of place. If you're watching the football, watching the defense play, he's like another quarterback on the defensive side other than your middle linebacker. He knows where he needs to go. That defense is ranked so highly, and he's one of the main reasons why he should be on this list.
Yeah. Put him in the box. Put him in coverage. He's an animal.
Everywhere.
A little long in the tooth, though.
But he don't show it. He doesn't show it.
When we say a little long in the tooth, can we like kind of downplay that a little bit if you're still valuable to your team and you still putting out a good product on the field?
That's it.
Because athletes are playing longer these days because they're taking care of their body. Like Tom Brady's a little long in the tooth, and he still makes the list every year.
It's a different position though. Playing corner and playing quarterback is too tough.
Yeah, but he's still playing. McCourty's still playing though, John.
Tom Brady didn't make this list though, dog. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but McCourty's still playing.
Yeah, but going into this year, I think this is going to be the year where it catches up to him.
Okay.
Speaking of catching up, Earl Thomas got a lot of votes. Did not make the list. Father Time is undefeated, man. And he looked bad in 2019, y'all, as the season rolled along. It was his worst season as a pro. It'll be interesting to see where he lands, because if he can land on his feet like Richard Sherman, Joe Hayden, around some other good defensive pieces, if Earl Thomas makes it to Dallas, I guarantee he'll be on this list next year. I guarantee it.
He'll probably make it to Dallas.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, not for sure. And last but not least, Coach Locke's guy, Anthony Harris. Talk about him, Coach.
Man, Anthony Harris, who's more of a free safety, but, you got the other kid over there we'll mention on this list. He covers a lot of ground in the deep pass. He has 6 picks, and he'll come up into the box, and he'll be just right in the line of scrimmage, too. He has great range, which covering the deep ball, which is one of his best traits. But I think him playing along with another guy that we're going to mention list kind of makes people not really give him the credit.
For sure. That's the best duo at safety in football. Let's get it, man. Number 7 on the list, Weezy. We're going to kick this off with you. Your guy, Buda Baker, 24 years old, was not ranked last year. Talk about it.
Buda Baker, man, 147 tackles, a little undersized. And playing that division this year is going to be really tough on him. So I don't know if he can. I think he can maintain it and play. I'm telling you, playing with the inspired Arizona team this year, He's going to cause trouble. Y'all 49er fans are going to see it tomorrow. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be rough on y'all.
I would not want to play in that division. Like I said it on our show, I think that's going to be the hardest division to play in football, hands down. Because it's no off game. No matter how you look at it, there's no off game. Back to Buda Baker, like we just said, that defense is going to be inspired this year, going to be a better defense. I think he has the potential to move up this list going forward.
Yeah, Buddha, man, like you talked, the tackling is nuts. That's insane. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he's not on this list next year just because of some of the people we have on the honorable mention might get on this list. That might be what knocks him out because I don't see anybody below him coming off this list. I think they all will be here next year. And being in that division, playing against the team he's going to play, it's going to be tough on him because you got weapons from Seattle, you got weapons in San Francisco, and the Rams. So I don't know if he's going to be on this list next year, but you can't knock him. He'll be close. If he's not on this list, I think he'll be honorable mention next year.
Yeah, Buddha just got paid $59 million, and now that reputation is growing league wide. He can play in the block. I think he's a pseudo linebacker, though. He can play in the box. He can also play deep half. He can do coverage. He's a beast, man. And playing under 3 defensive schemes, switching each position every year, you get settled now because you have a system now in your second season playing under Kingsbury. I think he'll make a leap, man. I think he'll be even higher. And he has Isaiah Simmons out there as well, man. So I'm telling you, it's going to be tough for him. My guy, Buda Baker. Let's move on to number 6. Justin Simmons, 26 years old. Wasn't ranked last year. Let's talk about him.
Justin Simmons, have y'all watched him play? He's everywhere on the field, man. Everywhere, man. I think six is he barely made the list. I'm gonna be honest with you because he didn't make my list, but he got potential to move up next year. He might be 5 on the list next year. I ain't gonna say he's top 4 yet, but he might be 5 on the list next year.
He only allowed 52% of passes completed on his area as a safety, and that Broncos team is young. They're making the right moves. He has a chance to move up as well. Like I think this safety position is going to be rough going forward.
It shows how good you are when your team lets Chris Harris go. That's how much they believe in you. Mm-hmm. He hasn't missed a game since 2017. He had 17 pass breakups in 2019. He's young. He's going to be here on this list here, and I just mentioned I think he will move up on this list next year.
Yeah, man, you franchise tag this kid. You got to pay him. He still has to play at a high level to get that money. He will do that. He posted some of the best coverage numbers as a safety in the entire league. Very solid against the run, 93 tackles, 15 pass deflected, so he's in coverage as well. Both facets of the game. His improvement from 2018 to 2019 is the main reason why the Denver Broncos defense looked like it was going somewhere. Now you lose Vaughn and you bring Bradley Chubb back. It's going to be tough, man, but he's only 26 years old. He has a lot of playing to do. I can't necessarily say where he would be at on the list, considering the fact that you lose one of your best defensive players on that team. But the way that he plays, man, his career is headed in the right way, for sure.
He's the reason why Marcus Mariota got benched last year and probably not playing no more.
I wanted you to say that. I didn't want to bring it up. Yeah, I know I'd be picking on the Titans, but I wanted you to say that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Clown the game.
Yeah, now he killed. Let's move on to the Hitman, Harrison Hitman Smith, 31 years old. Last year he was ranked number 5. Didn't move up again this year. How you guys feel about Harrison Smith?
I call Harrison Smith a silent killer, man. I think he gets overlooked a little bit because he's not, one of us. But he's a killer, man. He's a killer out there in Minnesota, and it's like Minnesota. They play in that dome. And they don't get a lot of exposure as they're supposed to do because they play in a division where defense is not really great. But Minnesota defense is great. Harrison Smith is the reason why they're great. He's the reason why they're great. Him and Eric Kendricks are the reason why they're great. I think so.
Jay, I'm gonna be real. Like I would always say, man, who is dude? And I remember when I first started doing the show, you would talk about him all the time. And I would see him on the field. I just couldn't pay attention to him. Shout out to Mike G. Mike G, the Vikings fan. He would talk about him all the time too. And I finally sit down and start watching dude. It justified, making plays. I can still throw on him if I need to, I think, but I'm not running his way. And I hope my receiver gets down once he catches the ball and run his way because he's about to get his head rocked.
Harrison Smith, man, like he's great against the run and near the line of scrimmage. He's pretty good in coverage. He had 11 pass deflections, 3 interceptions, and he's just consistent. He's been a Pro Bowler the last 5 years. So you don't want to run his way. And he's not as bad in coverage as people think he is. You throw it that way, he will pick it off.
My guy, the Hitman, I want him on my team. Every Madden can never get him. He's just one of those players that can do so much, man. It's no wonder why Anthony Harris is getting the credit he deserves. It's because he's playing alongside Harrison Smith. 8 seasons, he only gone 1 with less than 2 picks, man. Followed up 11 interceptions over the last 3 campaigns, man. Not afraid to get his hand dirty, punish his targets. They're going across the middle on the other side of 30, so we get a little tricky. But I think Harrison Smith playing alongside Eric Kendricks, Danielle Hunter, Anthony Barr in that defense, he still has a lot of fuel left in his tank, for sure. Let's move on to number 4, man. Jeff's guy, Jamal Adams, 24 years old. He was ranked number 4 last year. Let's talk about him.
So Jamal Adams, this is my type of safety right here. I'd rather have a lot of pass breakups, a lot of decleating, other than a lot of picks. This is my type of safety. Downhill, play linebacker a little bit, can go in coverage. He can guard the big tight ends. He can guard the slot receiver if he wanted to. This is my type of corner. I feel like he got a little bit unhappy this year, and now he's acting out a little bit. Now he got to back it up. He got to back it up. And he went to Seattle where they're known for having good safeties and good defense. He really don't know it, but I think he put his target on his back. You got to back it up now.
Play him at free, play him at strong, play him at corner. If you need to, you want to get real frisky, put him in the outside linebacker. He's going to bring it up. He's going to make the hit. He's going to make the tackle. He doesn't have those interception numbers that people like to rave about. I get it. But your wide receiver, when he hears his footsteps coming, he's going to get down because he's going to get knocked into the next game. I want this guy on my team any chance I can. If you think he's only playing a run, throw his way if you want to. Like, man, no, he's complete safety. He should be higher.
Jamal Adams dominates the middle of the field. He's great blitzing and he's great pass rushing. That's why he gets sacks. And wide receivers, like Jeff mentioned, they scared when they hit him footsteps. And he's not as strong in man coverage, but he's good enough where you still don't want to try him. But Jamal Adams, man, ain't nothing else you can say about him. He's just a beast. That's why he's where he's at.
Yep, Jamal Adams is the modern defender, man. Can pressure the quarterback on first down, stop the run on second down, and lock down the receiver on third down. Fast twitch athlete, like Weezy mentioned, can guard tight ends, running backs, and even receivers in some coverages. He's a positionless defender. I think we worry about him because it hasn't translated to wins. I just don't think he's played on a good team. And now he's playing on that Seahawks team. And, man, you label him a box safety if you want to, but he is a dog, covers with the best of them. I think he wants to be the highest paid safety in the entire NFL. I think he deserves it, man. He is the modern safety. And as far as positionless football, we talk about Jalen Ramsey as far as talent. This is the talent that we're talking about with Jamal Adams, man. He should be number 1 on this list every year. Move on to number 3. The man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Byard, 27 years old, was ranked number 1 last year. Let's talk about KB, fellas.
Honestly, from being a Titans fan and watching every Titans game, KB is the face of our franchise right now. Honestly, I think so. Other than Derrick Henry, he is the face. On defense, I say on defense, he's the face of our franchise. He gets overlooked because he's a different kind of safety. Now KB will come up and smack you, but he got great ball skills when he'll pick the ball off. He has and I've seen in 3 separate seasons where he has three games where he intercepted the ball twice in one game. He did it last year against Cleveland. He did it 2 years ago against Cleveland when they're playing Johnny Manziel. He has 2 games every year where he gets double interceptions in one game. Good ball skill. And he leads the secondary in tackles every year. It's for a reason, man.
Yeah, he gets overlooked a lot because he plays in Tennessee, which sucks. Hopefully, the Titans can keep up their success going forward, because the more successful the Titans are as a team, Kevin gets to get the recognition he deserves. And I made jokes about him when in our pre-production call, but he is definitely on this list, and he's definitely one of the top tier safeties in the league. I didn't have him this high, but like we just said, he's gonna make plays and he's gonna be around. So the Titans definitely should do the best they can to promote this guy because he's a star.
He's on this list because he can do them both. You throw it his way, he's going to pick it. If you running the ball, he's going to come up in a box, and he's one of the best run defenders on this list. And then he's reliable. He's played more snaps than any other safety in the league last year. Can't ask for more than that idea of safety. He's going to pick it off, or he's going to come down to the box and make the tackle. Has 18 career interceptions in his young career. That's nuts. That's why he's on this list.
Going to MTSU, he wasn't even invited to the combine, dog. Like, he's been underutilized, underappreciated. And it's a shame that people don't even know this kid. His face isn't even on Madden, y'all. They have a default face on Kevin Byard. He's first team All-Pro. Every first team All-Pro player, from a damn offensive lineman to a quarterback to a running back, they all have their faces. KB's face isn't on Madden. Insane, man. Just elite at every facet of the game. There's some names that overshadow him, but they can't put up the numbers that KB has put up over the last 3 or 4 years. He's only 26 years old, man. Leads the league in picks over that time. Just, if I need a corner, if I need a safety, I'm going to get KB at the safety position. If you want to go to the corner, give me Jalen Ramsey. This kid is special. My favorite player on the Titans. I don't even like Titans players, but this kid, man, you can use him in blitz. You can lose him in coverage. Man, he's just special, man. Just special. One of my favorite players, man. Got to get that jersey.
And one more thing. He's the captain of the secondary. You know what's in our secondary? At one time, Vaccaro's in our secondary.
Yeah.
Vaccaro was on this list as a top 4 corner or top 4 safety a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Joseph is in our secondary. Veteran. Yeah. And this young boy's leading them both.
Sure.
Come on, man.
You got to give KB some love, man. Jeff be hating on KB. Let's move on to number 2. Minkah Fitzpatrick, 24 years old. He's not ranked last year. Let's talk about him, fellas.
Minkah, man, he made that switch to Pittsburgh, and he showed everybody, you know what? This is what I come to do. I just want to win. He wanted to win. The talent was never in doubt. He wanted to win. And I knew back in the day when the coach, I knew back in the day, Alabama's coach said, he's the smartest player I've ever coached. That said something. That said something, man. When Nick Saban says that says something. And he went to Pittsburgh and showed it.
Pittsburgh's defense was the reason why that cluster of offense got carried to almost to the playoffs. Like, their defense was cold, and Minkah was he and TJ Watt were the star of that. Like, of course, Joe Hayden had an okay year or whatever, Jay. You about to say that. But Minkah, man, he got to a team where he wanted to be. He got out of Miami situation, got to where he needed to be, and the sky's the limit for this kid, man. I can't wait to see what he does next year. Well, this year, I should say.
It's hard to be successful in Miami as a defensive player, as a safety, when you're constantly on the field. The offense didn't give him no help, so he was always put in bad situations, and it never showed to be the player that he can be till he got to Pittsburgh. We always knew this kid was a player. It showed in college. It's just Miami was just not the place. It was a bad fit. That's why when he got to Pittsburgh, he showed who he is. You don't want to throw his way. He had 5 interceptions, and he's versatile. He can come down to the box, or he can stay and cover. That's why he's 2 where he's on his list.
Yep. You got to look at Minkah as one of the next generation of safeties, him and Jamal Adams. Players that you can align all over the field, play 3 different roles on 3 consecutive downs. That's something we didn't ever see coming into this, time of football. Dude, he was targeted 16 times with the Steelers, just with the Steelers. Got 5 picks. Know what that means? Stay the hell away from dude, man. He's a very, very talented safety. Rare athletic ability. He can play safety and he can play corner. He played corner 2 years, y'all, at Alabama. Then he switched to safety. Then you get him to the league. They were like, what is he? I don't know what the hell he is. He's just a player. Put him out there. Put him in free, man. Just a super, super athlete. For my money, there's only one safety in the entire league who can do everything that Minkah Fitzpatrick can do, for sure. Only one. So moving on to number 1. Let's talk to Tyrann Mathieu, man. 28 years old, man. Wasn't ranked last year. Let's talk about him, fella.
The Honey Badger. He's playing up under Patrick Mahomes, and they're getting overshadowed. Patrick Mahomes is throwing for 90 touchdowns a year. But the Honey Badger held down their defense when they counted, man. He's been doing it year after year after year. Undersized, too. I like the undersized guys. Undersized, he always around the football. Always making a big play. And he got a knack for making somebody fumble, too. He'll make you fumble in a heartbeat. Child of the Honey Badger.
12 pass breakups, man. Rejuvenated year. 4 picks. He deserved the number 1 spot this year. And cap it off with the Super Bowl. What can you say?
Honey Badger, man, he's an elite slot coverage player, and he's changed positions. He was originally playing free safety when he was in the league. He's only been playing strong safety for this going into his 3rd year now. Like you said, he's all over the floor, and he's reliable. Only Kevin Byard, has played more snaps than him. So he's number 1 on this list because of those things.
If we had a true 5'2" player in the NFL, it's Tyrann Mathieu. We talk about this modern safety. It was set up with Tyrann Mathieu. All he does is change the game, very similar to what Jamal Adams does, very similar to what Minkah Fitzpatrick does. What sets him apart is just how long he's been elite at his level. He's been in the league since 2013. Those guys were still in high school then. So the numbers were good enough to see him get first-team All-Pro, got a ring out of it. He deserved everything that he was getting, man. I root for this kid every year, want him to play well. It's just a good story, deserves everything that's coming to him. And he revolutionized the safety position right after you would say Earl Thomas came in and did something different. Tyrann Mathieu made us aware of these guys can do at the safety position. Let's go over the list, man. Number 1, Tyrann Mathieu. Number 2, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Number 3, KB. Number 4, Jamal Adams. Number 5, Harrison Smith. Number 6, Justin Simmons. And number 7, Budda Baker. Who makes this list, man? Give me a new one.
I'm going to go with Mark Barron from Denver next year.
Derwin James comes back from injury, and he's back a little bit.
He done for the year, ain't he?
But you factor in the year coming up after that.
Yeah. You got to try that one again, bro. He ain't going to make this next year. Ain't no way. He ain't going to play no games.
But we factor in the next year, right?
No, because if that was the case, we would have said somebody was going to be – who's that didn't play this year and was like, oh, you can't play?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, shit, Dylan McCourty. I stick with Dylan McCourty.
You got to stick with your guns. Stick with your guns.
I'm gonna go with my boy Anthony Harris.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with Marcus Williams, free safety for the Saints. True dog. Should have made this list this year. True animal. A dog. Marcus Williams is one of the more underappreciated safeties in the entire NFL. He just plays for the Saints. Again, how we talk about people don't talk about defense in Green Bay. People don't talk about defense in New Orleans. He's the reason that Lattimore feels a little safety blanket back there, and it's Marcus Williams. That's it, fellas.
Do you want I have a question real quick for y'all guys. Do you want your corner? Do you want your safety to average 80 tackles or get 3 picks?
80 tackles.
I need him to tackle.
Yeah, because you coming down in that box. If you can't tackle, you can't help me.
It depends too, though. If he playing free safety, I don't need him to have 80 tackles. I need him to help out over the top. But if he's playing strong, I need him to get at least 80 tackles for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, man, this has been fun. Again, we appreciate everybody that sent in a list, from quarterbacks all the way to corners. This is always fun. We'll be back next week with talking some NFL, man, for sure. We're here. And then after that, some college football
NFL.
Talk, man.
More NFL.
Yeah, then the NBA in between that for sure. Damn 2K. They said the damn draft ain't to the 18th. Why the hell? I ain't played 2K. It came out Thursday. I've played it one time, dog. Once.
The draft is 18th of what? This
November.
When's the season gonna start?
Probably
Christmas.
I don't think so. Tentatively, right now, I don't see it starting Christmas though.
I see it Christmas. Early Christmas, maybe started in
February 1.
Hell no.
February?
Nah.
Nah, ain't no way. Hell no.
Can't miss out on that money, Jeff.
Nah.
You know that. Them boys gonna be playing in January.
Are they gonna bubble again?
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna bubble again.
Shit. Well, I see what
Why
you're
they not?
Why?
Why you gonna bubble? Everybody else playing in their stadiums. They're not gonna bubble. NFL playing in their stadiums. MLB ain't got no fans, but if NFL putting all them people in there, they're not going in their bubble no more.
It's true. That's a great point. We kept you guys a little too long, man. We will be back next week. Don't forget to tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Weezy.
Everything paid for, baby.
Coach Locke.
Get a drummer song.
Jeff.
Camera's always on, brother.
The Revolution will be podcasted. We are out.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on prior episodes, visit the SoundCloud page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.